I love horror movies. Shocker, I know. Anyways, I've always loved a good scare. Hell, I remember when I was a kid watching AMC Fear Fest until who knows what time in the morning. A great horror film can just put you in this different state that other genres just can't do. It's almost cozy-like for me. However, there have been some horror films that have stuck with me for years. More specifically, there are certain scenes that have stuck with me. And I figured why not talk about a few of the scenes that terrified the shit out of me when I watched them for the first time, and to this day are permanently seared into my brain. Here are horror scenes that scare me. The Other Mother's Final Form from Coraline. Coraline may very well be my favorite animated film. The stop motion is gorgeous, it has a phenomenal story, and best of all, it's pretty damn scary, even for a PG movie. Dakota Fanning voices Coraline, a young girl who finds a mysterious hidden door in her new home. Upon entering, she's greeted with a seemingly alternate version of her home, along with new parents. These parents are the opposite of her real parents. They're very caring, they cook great food, they play songs for her, and they also have buttons for eyes. They seem perfect, until they're not. After Coraline declines the other mother's offer to sew buttons on her eyes and stay with them forever, the other mother kidnaps her parents while transforming into a creepy, spider-like figure. It's not the turning into a spider that scares me the most though. Instead, it's the final showdown with the other mother. I won't get in depth as to how we got here exactly, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, so go watch the full movie, I promise, it's totally worth it. So we get to the final confrontation and the mother has transformed into this Slender Man looking glass skeleton spider with button eyes. Coraline tries to escape by throwing a cat at the mother, which rips her button eyes out. The mother begins screaming at Coraline in just nightmare-fueled ways.
You horrible cheating girl!
Before she can escape though, the house turns into a big spider web, with Coraline and the other mother falling in it. Without eyes, the mother is able to find Coraline by feeling vibrations coming from the web. Just watching her crawl along the web as she tries to get to Coraline is very creepy. Coraline makes it back to the door, but not without the mother giving us a good scare. As Coraline runs back to the real world, we get one last eerie sequence as the tunnel caves in with the mother's screams being heard behind her. Now yes, I completely agree this scene isn't as scary as an adult, but put yourself in the shoes of a kid watching this. You're telling me this doesn't scare the hell out of the kid in you? I certainly know it scared me as a kid. The alien sighting from Signs. Signs is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan film. I absolutely adore The Sixth Sense, but I am unapologetic when it comes to my love for Signs, and I really think it's his best work. The film follows former priest, Graham Hess, played incredibly by Mel Gibson. He's a man who's lost his faith following the death of his wife, and to make matters worse, there are signs that extraterrestrial life is making contact with Earth. After crop circles appear in his cornfield, Graham, along with his brother-in-law Merrill, played by Joaquin Phoenix, and children Morgan and Beau, played by Rory Culkin and Abigail Breslin, slowly but surely begin to realize that something isn't right. Some strange encounters occur, including a terrifically shot run-in with the aliens in the cornfield one night. But the film begins to crank it up a notch with a news report from Brazil. A news lady's voice comes on and gives us a brief background check on the footage we're about to be shown. Then she hits us with the line,
"What you're about to see may disturb you."
And let me fucking tell you, just the way she says this disturbs me. The news cuts to a kid's birthday party in Brazil where we see partygoers frantically scrambling. Obviously, something isn't right as they huddle inside a house looking out the window. The home footage looks through the window and sits on an alleyway for a few seconds. We're immediately drawn to the right side of the screen, thinking we see something moving. For the first time in the entire movie, we get a really good look at the alien, and it's freaky. What makes this work so well is the setup. Like I said, we think we see something moving. We're zoned into an area on the screen. There's no misdirect here. Instead, it almost pulls the rug from under us and just says, "Here, this is what you want to see, right?" in the most unsettling way possible. The jolt of the soundtrack, the kids screaming, Meryl's holy shit face, it all just blends into one effective scare. I don't think M. Night Shyamalan has a scarier scene in his filmography than this one. And saving the best for last, the lawnmower scene from Sinister. Sinister is one of, if not the scariest movie I've ever watched, and I have science to back me up on that. Seriously, it was scientifically proven to be the scariest movie of all time. Sinister stars Ethan Hawke, a struggling writer Ellison Oswalt, who moves his family into a new home. Unbeknown to the rest of his family, the house they move into is the site of a gruesome murder from the year before. Ellison hopes to uncover the truth to this incident and write a bestseller out of it. Shortly after moving in, he finds a box of home movies in the attic. Each movie details horrific murders filmed from an unknown perspective. For those of you who have seen Sinister, you know that these home movies are absolutely bone-chilling. The Super 8 film just gives them a raw and unnerving sensation. After watching some of the tapes, which include Sleepy Time 98, Barbecue 79, and Hanging Out 2011, the tape of the murders from Ellison's new house, he gets to Lawn Work 86. The tape plays out like this. We get the POV of someone spying on a family from outside their home. This goes on for a little bit before the camera begins to move towards what I presume to be a shed, where they grab a lawnmower. They begin driving it for some time and we're left waiting for something to happen. It's quiet, eerie. Alright, it's been a while. Surely something is going to happen here. I'm positive Ellison's reaction is most of ours when we watch this for the first time. You don't know what to expect exactly, and then all of a sudden we're greeted by a person in the grass about to get run over. It's horrific. What I think makes this scene so much more scary than the other home movie tapes is the sound design. The other home movies were quiet. Lawn Work 86 seems like it's the same way, until it's not, and we're greeted with the most sinister sound coming from his projector. It's such a good audible misdirect that it leaves you shook. Add in the fact that all of these murders were done by the children makes it 100 times more chilling. I can certainly understand how Sinister is considered the scariest movie ever, especially when it has scenes as frightening as this one. These are just a few examples of the scenes that scare me, and I'll have plenty more to talk about in the future. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you at the next one.